like by using JMS, especially by using JMS, we can share our message across the multiple of applications through the queue actually. Where that queue is located, the queue is located in a external servers. Here the server might be like ActiveMQ or AnyPointMQ. Okay. In this way, we can exchange our message between the multiple applications. Okay. I'm going to show you like through the example. Okay, through the example I'm going to show you like how we can perform these things. So here I have two applications, right? So what are those applications? One is the JMS publish. Okay, here you can see the application names JMS publish and JMS listen. These two are the different application actually. The name it is representing like it is going to publish some data. So from to where we are publishing our data to queues actually. Here we are using queue mechanism, right? So by using JMS publish, we are going to publish our data to the particular queue. So where that queue is placed, that queue will be maintained in a external servers. Presently we are using ActiveMQ server. So for that we need to run that server first actually. How can you run that server? First of all, you have to download that server. So here you can see this is my software section. So here you can see this is my server. I'm going to run this server. Then only I can I can able to access to that queue actually. If you're not running this server, then you are not able to access that queue. Queue nothing but first of all you have to create the queue, and you have to insert that your message to the queue, and you can access your message from the queue. So if you want to perform all this operation, definitely you have to run this ActiveMQ server. Then only you can perform means operations on the queue. Okay. So the server is going to start it. If you want to see, actually the server is started through the web like ActiveMQ. This is the we can call it as a command prompt, right? So this is a command prompt. But if you want to see a web console, ActiveMQ web console, you have to place this URL into the browser. Then here you can see this is the UI. This is the web console. We can call it as a this is the web console. So otherwise you can place into a new here. Instead of this, you have to place localhost. Okay, localhost. Then in this way it will give the web console actually. So here you have to click manage ActiveMQ broker. After that you have to click on the queues. Okay, here you can see all your queues actually. Here there is a possibility you can create your own queues also. Okay, here in this way you can create your own queues. What is that? Console thing. Here we can create queues actually. Queue name, yeah, here I'll give queue name actually. So this is the sample queue. Going to create, then sample queue is created actually. So and I can publish my message to the queue. Otherwise I can create my data in the queue actually directly. I can open this queue, and here I can see some operations actually. Otherwise, okay, here you can see some option actually, send option, right? So if you click on the send option, it is here you can type some message. First of all, before that I'll run these two applications. Okay, so publish and listener application, and I'll explain everything. So I'll run in a debug mode, then you will understand easily. So I'll keep some debug point here. Okay, and I'll run in a debug mode. How can we run in a debug mode? Select run debug configuration, and here I need to select two applications. I need to run in a debug mode. Okay, it will run in debug mode. So then you will see. Okay, so now here I'm opening this send button, right? So what is this button actually? So from this queue directly, here you can see the queues, right? Directly you can create your message in the queue in a web console itself, and you can send your message from here itself. Okay, that thing you can perform. For that you have to click on the send button, and here you have to like relation ID, group ID. Where is that queue name actually? So here we need to give some queue name. So this is the different thing. Destination. So this is the destination actually. So here from here we need to send some message, right? So as of now we have created sample queue. This is the sample queue, and here if you want to give any correlation ID, you can give the correlation ID. Otherwise you can keep it as the same. And here I'm adding some data. So what is my data? So hi, this is Niranjan. This is Niranjan. I'm sending this data to this queue. Already I have created that queue, right? So I'm sending. Now you can see the messages come to this queue actually. So directly here you can see that message actually. Previously what we have done actually, so we have sent our message from the mule application, right? So by using mule application we can send our data. So here if you can see the two applications are deployed successfully. Same thing if I want to perform from the mule application. So first of all I'll explain all this code actually one time. So I have two applications. One is the JMS publish. By using JMS publish application I can publish my data to this queue. How can I publish actually? Here I need to select the destination queue actually. So based on this queue automatically this data, whatever I am sending the data, that data will go to that particular queue. And from the listener application automatically our new message will trigger that queue and it will process the data. Finally it is going to save into a right location. So the main thing is like acknowledgement mode actually. So what happened actually, what will happen if you are not using this acknowledgement mode? Whenever you read the data from the queue and while you are processing, automatically it will delete from that queue actually. While processing the data, while writing the data into the file, if you got any error, you will lose the data from the queues actually. Why? Because whenever you read that data, automatically that data will delete from the queue. And also while processing the data, if you got any error, even the data will not save into the file also. In that scenario, you will lose the data. So then reliability will miss actually. So in that scenario, if you want to increase your reliability, then you have to apply some techniques actually. Here we can call it as a acknowledgement technique. So for that we have to select acknowledgement mode is a manual. So here you can see a lot of options, but most of the thing will use acknowledgement mode is a manual, so that whenever you read the message from the queue automatically it will not delete actually. Whenever you give the confirmation, I got the message successfully, otherwise I could return my message successfully in the file. So in the last of the component, if you use this acknowledgement, nothing but you are giving acknowledgement, my data is processed successfully. So whenever you given this acknowledgement, then only the data will delete from the queue. Otherwise still the data will persist. Even though while writing if you got any error, the data will persist in queues actually. That is the concept we are going to cover now. So this is the acknowledgement mode of the JMS. So here I'll show you the JMS configuration. So to configure the JMS, first of all I'll show you in the publish. In the publish, actually you are going to send your message to the queue, right? So for that, here you can use the destination queue. Based on this queue name, it will create the queue, and this is the type, destination type. What is our type? Queue type, right? So here I'm going to create a JMS configuration. Here simply click on this configure, otherwise I'll remove configure library. And I'll show you one more time for you. So simply click on this configuration and you have to add Maven dependency and click on the finish button. Based on this Maven dependency, automatically it will add a driver. Okay, so it will add ActiveMQ driver. So after this, you have to select the, like you have to give the username password. These are the default username password for the web console actually. Admin, ActiveMQ username password. These are the, and last thing is you have to give the connection factory details. Okay, here you have to give the connection factory details. So here you can select edit inline option in the connection factory configuration, and after that you have to give the broker URL. This is the very important actually. So from where you are getting this broker URL? So from the, like here, from here you will get actually. So here you can see one TCP URL, right? So you have to copy this URL from here to up to port. You have to copy and you have to place here TCP URL. That is your broker URL. Once it is done, you have to test your connection. Then it will give the test connection successfully message. Then only you can publish your message to that particular queue. Otherwise, you will not publish your message to that particular queue. Okay. So in this way, we are going to test, we are going to create our JMS configuration. Whenever you created, it will create in a global element of your application. So in this way, this is the JMS publish application. You have configured in the JMS publish application. In the same way, you have to configure in the JMS listener as well. So in the JMS listener, in the source level, I'll place the JMS on new message. So whenever, what is this component will represent on new message? Nothing but if you got any new message, automatically it will read. Okay, this is the connector. So JMS on new message connector. So here I will place in the source level. I'll give the destination queue. From this queue, if you got any message in this queue, automatically it will read, but it will not delete actually. Why? Because we have selected acknowledgement mode is a manual. After that it is reading. So here I'm setting variable. What is this variable has? So it's have acknowledgement actually. It has acknowledgement ID. Whenever you read the message in the attributes, you will get acknowledgement ID. I'll save this ID into the variable. Why? Because after this file writing, I'll not able to get this attributes actually. That's why I'll fetch these attributes before file writing and I'm setting into the variable. We can access variable after this file actually, but we can access this attributes after file. That's why I'm converting these attributes into the variable, and I can here, if you observe here, I can access that variable actually. So current acknowledgement token, this is my variable, right? So I can access the variable after the file writing, but I cannot access the attributes. That's why I have assigned these attributes to the variable. After that, I'm converting into JSON and I'm writing into file. After that, I'm taking this acknowledgement ID. Based on this acknowledgement ID, I can give the acknowledgement actually. This is the reason behind that. And here you can see this is the application. I have deployed these two applications. Presently, I'm going to publish my message from this application. Here you can see this is the publish option, right? So now I'm going to publish my message. So this is my message 1111. Okay, so here you can see what is my name, Niru 1111, and here my address is Hyderabad 1111. Okay, I'm going to publish this one. Okay, so now you can see the message is got published successfully. Okay, now you can see the message got published successfully. The message got published successfully or not, how you can see? So here in the my test queue, as of now there is no data, right? If you refresh this web console, automatically you will get message. And if you want to check that message also, you can check from here. You can check this is the message ID. I can check here. So SID 1111, S name is 1111, S address is 1111. This is my message I got in the queue. Okay, and automatically it will read. Automatically it will read what this a new message will do. Whenever you got new message in the queue, automatically it will read. Now my test queue got this new message, right? So automatically it will read. So now I have kept some debug point, right? So that's why it stopped here. Now I'm clicking on this like F6 button, then it will go to step by step. Now I have assigned my variable. Here you can see my variable got assigned or not. Okay, so this is my variable, so I can extract this. Here you can see this is my token actually. So this token I'm getting from the attributes and I'm assigning to the variable. Okay, presently my variable it is, and I'm transforming into JSON. After that I'm printing into the logger. Here you can see the logger. So in the logger also you'll get, right? So I'm publishing my message in the JMS publish application, but I'm printing my message in the JMS listener application. How it is possible? Through the queue, messaging queue. Okay. And here finally I'm going to write this file actually. So where can I write actually? So give me 1 second. I'm going to write my data into the SRC main resource folder. Sorry, I'll see actually where I'm going to write in the SRC. Yeah, here you can see. Here I'm going to here I'm going to write my data in the file location. Where is that file location? SRC main resource output folder student.json. Okay, in the listener application. I'm going to listener application, SRC main resource. In that output, in that I'm going to place as a student JSON. As of now I have one file, right? I'll delete this file anyway. I'll delete this file. Now I'm going to write a new file. If I click on I'll go to the debug mode. If I click on this F6 button, where is that actually? So yeah, here I can see F6, automatically it will write this data into the file location. Now you can refresh this. Now the new data will come actually. So yeah, now new data will come. So stored SID, Niru, HYD 1111. So everything I'll get actually. Finally, as of now, if you observe as of now, the message will persist in queue actually. If even if I refresh also, still the message will persist. Whenever my data is writing successfully into the right file location, after that finally I'm giving the acknowledgement, then only it will delete from the queue actually. So now you can see that thing also. I'll click on the F6 button. So now I have given the acknowledgement. So now you can see if I refresh this, automatically it will delete. Okay, so in this way we can control our message actually. So we can maintain like reliability of our message. So by using JS acknowledgement mode, this is the very important concept. Just remind this. Thank you guys.